Not too long ago, Jonathan David was being linked with a host of top European clubs, including some from the Premier League. But no offers came despite an impressive record of 109 goals in 232 games. Perhaps that was because the touted fee was too much of a risk, or because the safer option was to try and lure a relatively untested striker on a free transfer. David, who joined Lille in 2020, helped fire the French club to the Ligue 1 title just 12 months later. But at the end of last season, he signalled his intention to leave the club at the end of his contract. Despite interest from AC Milan and Atletico Madrid, Juventus ended up being the only credible takers for him. And that fell in line with their new philosophy of not just trimming their wage bill, but also the age of their squad. And it looked to be a real masterstroke when he scored on his Serie A debut on the opening day of the season against Parma. But since then, his struggles have been laid bare, and he's yet to add to his solitary strike. Now, not only has he been unable to keep hold of his starting spot, there's a genuine struggle when it comes to linking up with his new teammates. And that's something he was so proficient at when he played at Lille. David was then dropped to the bench for the games against Verona, Inter and Atalanta, and he was played in a deeper attacking midfield position for the Champions League draw against Borussia Dortmund last month. He was benched again in Wednesday's 1-0 defeat at Real Madrid, and that's despite manager Igor Tudor still unsure as to who his favoured striker will be between David, Dusan Vlahovic and Lois Openda. Now in a World Cup year, this is a less than ideal situation for World Cup joint host Canada. Not only is David Canada's poster boy for the World Cup, but he's also his country's leading all-time scorer with 37 goals. As for Juventus, well, their fans may have to be patient just a little while longer. Now, if history serves us right, similar patterns seem to be emerging with David's first year at Lille in 2020, where it took 10 games before he finally got off the mark. He's a player who operates so much more efficiently with a player by his side rather than acting as a lone striker. And that was demonstrated by his brilliant partnership with Burak Yilmaz in the title-winning season of 2021, and after that, Hatem Ben Arfa. Strangely for him, he's a player that tends to score in patches rather than a consistent goal-scoring haul. And while there's plenty of time for David to come good, he will need to show that he could be Juventus' main man beyond this season, with Dusan Vlahovic likely to leave on a free transfer next summer.